So here is the HDZero Race VTX. It's the second racing VTX from DiviMath, but this one's going to be branded under HDZero rather than SharkBite. As you can see, it's a square design rather than a long rectangle. And I think the easiest way to describe it is it's very similar to a mid-size, I'd say, 4-in-1 ESC. So this is the Foxier Reaper Mini 45 amp, and if I put this new racing VTX on top, you can see it's about the same footprint as that. So what that means is anywhere that we can put these decent-sized 4-in-1 ESCs, we can fit this racing VTX. The other thing is it's relatively low profile. Most of the components are on the top side of the board that have height to them. There's just this one connector on the bottom for the manual joystick control that adds a little bit of thickness to it. So that means that we can get it pretty tightly packed to the other components on the stack, like the FC, where, yeah, I think the previous Race VTX, let's see if I've got one here, had some more connectors on it, which made it a little bit trickier to mount. So I'll give you a side-by-side here. So you got a similar area probably between the two, but the new one being more of a square 34 by 34 millimeter shape, it's going to fit in a lot more places than this one does, where this longer side here didn't really fit in a lot of frames. Another one to point out here, this connector for the power and UART and smart audio is not present on this one, and that's to save on space and also on Z height so that things can fit in easier. As you can see, this one is quite a bit thicker. Another cool feature on this one, you'll see it's got 2 holes next to the MIPI, and that's so you can run a zip tie to hold down your MIPI cable. So here's a standard Switchback Pro with the 25mm top plate standoffs, and I'm going to show just how easy it is to mount up everything onto this stack. In the kit, there's some black 6mm tall gummies. There's 8 of them, and that's so that you can add these gummies to the FC or the ESC to get the height down. There's also a set of these 1mm thick nylon washers to help tune the gap between the boards. So I placed some underneath here to get the height of the ESC to where I need it. Then I'm just going to slap the FC on top, and finally the VTX. Okay, and then we just have to slap these on. So it's a tight build, but it all fits, as you can see. There's also these screws that can be put in, and then this brass retention piece here to hold on the UFL. Or you can just throw a zip tie around it, like I was talking about. So you take this zip tie and loop it through both sides. Same for the MIPI if you want to hold down the MIPI that way, like that. I like to use a custom-made wider top plate to protect everything. And here's what you can see from the side view. So with this top plate, everything is nice and protected. Here's the new Switchback Zero from 533, and I've got the new racing VTX from DiviMath installed in there, and you can see how well it's protected. You can also see how small it is, and it's a little bit wider than the standard Switchback, but it takes all of the same arms and accessories as the Switchback Pro. So the extra width is there to let us fit in a nice full micro camera and to get a little bit better protection on the top plate. So let's open it up and take a look. Okay, and there it is installed. Plenty of room between the front standoffs and the VTX. That's an area where things will normally get a bit hairy. And you also see the footprint of this is the size of a 4-in-1 ESC. So it's set up a lot like the Whoop board. We've got the MIPI cable that goes across the VTX, and also the antenna which goes across the VTX. This allows for good slack so that we don't have a straight wire coming back to the antenna, so that works well. Same goes for the MIPI. And yeah, here it is from the side. See, there's a fair amount of room in there. To me, this is the best flying Switchback Pro yet. The wider stance spreads the motors out a little bit more widthwise, and then you can see it's somewhat symmetric this way. It tracks on rails. I really like flying it. It's going to be really exciting to see the pro guys fly it at championships this week. So been working on getting SharkBite / HDZero to fit into a Switchback Pro frame for a while now, and Evan and Armando at 533 saw the merit in this and decided, hey, let's make a really great Switchback Pro designed to fit the new racing VTX and a nice big micro camera for the best quality. And when you're flying this, it's amazing. There's really no going back to analog after flying this and how well it flies and how good it looks. So pretty exciting. Pretty sure all this is going to be available very, very soon. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be flying this drone at championships. I'm in the sport class, which is the slower class, where basically, I'll just say the older guys tend to fly. The younger guys, let's say below 25, are in the pro class. A few of them are going to be flying this frame too with HDZero. So it's going to be a really, really good looking live stream. So I'm going to be flying Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'll put up a link to the MultiGP live stream for that, because it's going to be pretty cool looking to see not only me, but Jeff is flying this frame, and I know of about 5 other guys that are all going to be flying HDZero at the event, at the sport class event. So that's going to look incredible. And then in the pro class, a number of the top pilots are also going to be flying HDZero, including Evan Turner and Noical and Leviathann.